Good morning, Ma'am Ella. So, am I audible, Mbak?
Yes, man can.
And
Yeah.
and then this is
Yes.
so is my screen visible?
Sure. Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. Good morning, Ma'am Ella. Yeah. So I would like to consult my draft, of the introduction. So actually, uh, this is my best practice in my class. So I have like a game. It is called a Tic Tac Boom game. So actually, this is inspired from the Tic Tac Two game. Yeah, that's the famous Tic Tac Two game. So the title is Tic Tac Boom game, a practical framework for gamified reading assignment. So this is intended for the reading assignment, ma'am. And so here is the introduction. So actually, reading is a significant language skill for students in learning English, since it serves as a primary means to improve their English language competence. So actually, because the since proficient reading correlates with the better performance in English and other discipline, it is
Manikan,
important for language. Yes.
can you please zoom the screen?
Oh, so it is too small.
Yes. All right.
Yeah. So is it
Okay.
enough, Mbak?
Yes, I think it's better.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Yeah. Well, so this is the first part of the introduction. So actually, because this is for reading assignment, uh, because actually since proficient reading correlates with better performance in English and other discipline, it is important for language learning and academic achievement to master reading in various courses. Therefore, reading is essential for students not only in language learning but in understanding written formation beneficial for their academic journey. Well, actually, reading transcends beyond language development and it includes comprehension of written information, which is essential for students' overall academic achievement. So it is also mentioned in the current Merdeka curriculum that promotes reading skill development as part of the overall learning objective for English subject. The curriculum document in the decree of PSKAP, Kemendikbudristek number uh, 032 2024 established explicit standard for reading comprehension and so on and so on. And actually, the traditional approach to teaching reading text in senior high school has often been met with the lack of enthusiasm. Actually, many teachers still apply like the conventional method of reading, so it will make the teaching and reading are very bored for the students because they have to do like the tedious assignment, so and on again. And then in the recent years, actually a new trend called gamification has evolved an approach to engage and encourage active participants. So here, the definition proposed by Bista et al. Gamification is the use of game elements in a non-game context. It is important to separate play, which is free from action, and games to entertain from serious games that usually encompass real-world activities. Well, actually, there are many reasons why games are great activities in for EFL classes. For example, games can also enhance critical thinking and problem-solving skills by eChart 2024, and also games can make the learning process much more interesting and promotes a fun learning environment that can motivate students, especially in the reading assignment. So here, by using a game-based learning strategy, teachers might introduce gaming elements into the classrooms and aim to motivate students to engage with the material in a fun way and in a more engaging way. Uh, it is stated by Poe and Discord in 2017. And also, it could help the students to express their ideas and reach the purpose of the material itself. And then the students could play this game without worrying about the possibility of getting a poor mark, because usually students are really, really avoid the reading assignment because they are getting worried of having a poor mark, something like that, because they do not master the material. And then in the language classroom, The introduction of the game would enable students to interact with their peers through or decision. It is what distinguishes a game. So here, students are anticipated to cultivate courage in learning from their errors. It is said by Abdullah in 2017. Here, moreover, game-based learning also promotes the development of high-order thinking skill or HOTS for students to address challenges. It is stated by Ding in 2017. And then during the implementation of the game, the students would have the possibilities of interact with their friends with the help of gamification. So there is a collaboration between students. And then the goal of game-based learning is for participants to compete against their friends, and then they also against themselves by using the points, there is levels, and also the times constraint. It is stated by Liu in 2020. And then here, we go to the tic-tac-toe game, the famous game. It is actually a way to teach the students by creating a fun and collaborative environment in the classroom. There are many assignments from which students might demonstrate their knowledge in this method, which is called differentiation. It is said by Sulfaidah in 2020. And then here, there are 9 squares on the board. So we will use like the squares board. And then it is similarly like tic-tac-toe game because I take this game from the tic-tac-toe game. Actually, here we go directly to the tic-tac-boom game. Actually, this is inspired from the classic tic-tac-toe game. It serves as a method to educate pupils by fostering an enjoyable and cooperative atmosphere in the classroom. Studied by Carl in 2021, he said in his study that the incorporation of game in education can enhance course concept, and then it can improve the learning experience, and it can communicate information swiftly and accurately to facilitate learning. Here, Cheong 2024 also present empirical evidence indicating that game application are an effective resource for enhancing reading skill. Also mentioned by Kulik et al. 2024. They also they also support that the notion that application-based reading enhance the student engagement with the literature. Here, what I mean by tic-tac-boom game is actually the variation of classic tic-tac-toe game. It has emerged as a promising alternative for teaching reading text in senior high school, especially in my classroom. And this game-based approach can effectively capture students' attention and foster active engagement with the reading material. It is mentioned by Sharif et al. In 2023. And by incorporating the tic-tac-boom game into the reading assignment, teachers can create a more dynamic and interactive learning environment where students are not merely passive recipients of information, but they are become the active participant in the learning process. Furthermore, the tic-tac-boom game can adapt it by incorporating open-ended question. It can use clues, visual, or other components aligned with the levels of Bloom's taxonomy. It is said by Zainuddin in 2013. And then the interactive game tic-tac-boom game actually may serve as a pedagogical tool over by the educators to facilitate the enhancement of pupils' reading skill, especially in doing the assignment. So despite numerous research addressing the utilization of games to mitigate reading challenges, it is stated by Saleh and Sarifah in 2022 and 2025, the significant reading issues appear among high school pupils. So actually, hopefully, this method can be the interactive reading games that can make the student motivated and encourage their learning spirit in reading especially. So actually, here about the actually why I use this game because even though for this best practice paper, because even though the tic-tac-boom game has been utilized in higher education, actually the research related with the application in improving reading skill is very limited. The scarcity has been seen from the prior research. Actually, the prior research by Dianingrum in 2018, Hassan 2018, and Sufaida in 2020, and Rismawati in 2019 indicated that the vocabulary of kids in junior high school improved due to the implication of the game. So actually, the paper are still scarce, especially about the reading, because most of the previous research are usually in vocabulary, not in reading one. And then additionally, for Amelia's research in 2017, it is also using tic-tac-toe game. Is essential to distinguish between simple past and simple present tense. So this is about the grammar. And then the subsequent research by Hasana in 2021 examined the application of tic-tac-toe game in instructing in high school students in verbal communication, not about reading. So actually the adaptation of tic-tac-toe game proposed by the researcher here, actually this is as a method to educate students by fostering enjoyable and cooperative atmosphere in the classroom. So actually this is the board that I proposed, the game that I proposed. The board consists of 50 squares as in the figure here. So this is tic-tac-boom board. So consists of 50 actually this is consists of 50 numbers. The numbers represented the number of the question that we give. Usually senior high school student in the examination, they have 50 questions, and then so for example, number one represent the number one here represent number one in the, what is it, in the question. So number two and so on also represent the number of the question. So actually the group will be divided into 4 groups. So one row means one group here, and then they have to collect vertically like this. So each group has one symbol. For example, group one has got this symbol, and then group two here, has got the triangle symbol, and then group three love, and then group four is what is it? Jantung or what? Yeah. Okay, and then say for example, they have to collect the, what is it? They have to collect the number. Yeah, they have to collect the question. Yeah. For example, say for example, group number one, they have to do it very quickly, and then they have to raise their hand, and then when they got, so when they are the quickest one, I will call them. So for example, okay, they can do number three, for example, first group. And then the other group should avoid the group one so that they cannot collect the number vertically like or horizontally like this or diagonally like this. Jadi, so actually the other group has to stop the group who are answering the question, yeah, by they have to answer number three, for example, and then they have to go to number 12 to stop them to win the competition, something like that. I think that's all, Ma'am Ella and my friends, about this is still tic-tac boom board that I have given. Usually I put it in the whiteboard. I draw it in the whiteboard, and then when the student is ready to answer, and then I will give their symbol there, and then here the student are really enthusiastic, yeah, in answering the question. And then actually before the actually when I ask them to do the reading, and then they will learn it the night before, so that's why they can do the very maximum thing. Yeah, thank you. So that's all about my introduction. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Mbak Niken. So, Ma'am Ella, is it directly will be your turn, or we continue to the next presentations?
Should I stop share or
Yes, Mbak Niken, you can stop sharing.
okay? Yeah.
All right, I think we can continue to the next one. The time is 10 minutes to present your introductions, everyone. So please mind the time. Diana?
Yes, but I will share screen first. Is it clear?
It's still loading.
Yes, it's clear.
Okay, can you make it bigger?
Like this?
Okay, yes. No.
Okay.
Again.
Okay, already?
Mhm. Okay, you can
Okay.
start, Dean.
Okay, thank you very much, Mbak Ilma and friends and Ma'am Ella. And here, this is the my article that the title is Color It, Describe It, Art-Based Activity for Teaching Descriptive for Young EFL Learners. Yes, this is the simple way that I write my introduction is in the best practice article, where here in this first paragraph here, I explain about the descriptive writing, that the importance of descriptive writing that can help a student develop the ability to explain things accurately. So, yeah, this passage explains that descriptive writing helps young EFL learners express ideas clearly, but it can be challenging to the limited vocabulary. So that's why integrating art makes writing lessons engaging and meaningful. And here I write also the as noted by Valio and others 2022 in their study on teaching English to young learners through art. Art-based activity enables students to learn language in a natural, engaging, and meaningful way. So the student can learn a new word through greeting and then observing and expressing ideas. So the color it, describe it project uses a color, shapes, and emotion to inspire students to write simple descriptive sentences connecting art and language in natural way. And then here, this is the skill building where here I explain how a fourth grade students are guided to write descriptive sentences using art-based activity. The students start by observing and coloring figures and then learn adjective through visual and sensory experiences and then use this word to write sentences. This approach helps students remember vocabulary, encourages self-expression, and support organizing their ideas into clear English sentences. And then after the skill building here, I explain where this is the following step that we can see here in the table 1 is a first summary of the color it describe it activity step that I explain here in the table where here there are 6 steps. The first one is exploring colors and adjective and then art creation, vocabulary brainstorming, writing practice, gallery walk and presentation, and the last one is reflection. Well, in the tips also I explain about the description, like the exploring color and adjectives. Student learn color words and adjective through visual and interactive activity. And then in the art creation, student color, cut, and assemble paper figure templates. In the vocabulary brainstorming, students list and share adjectives to describe their artwork. And in the writing practice, students write simple descriptive sentences about their figures. And then in the gallery walk and presentation, students display and present their artwork with description. And the last one is a reflection. Yes, the student reflect on learning and discuss using adjective in new context. Yeah, after I explain the table about the summary of the color it and describe it, after this I explain a more deep about the step, each step that I write here, where here in the step 1, is about exploring color and adjective, where in the step one here, I introduce my student to color vocabulary and basic adjective through a visual and interactive activity. Yes, I begin by showing a flashcard and then while asking, what color is this? Or what can you see? So the student can respond and I record their answer on chart paper and highlight a key adjective such as red, blue, big, and others. Uh, Adjective part that I highlight here. And then, yes, to make the learning process more engaging, I ask students to describe familiar objective around them, such as what color is your bag, or who is wearing a green shirt. So then we change the color together, adding gesture and rhythm to make pronunciation easier and more enjoyable. So the student uh, can choose the color according to their own preferences or their favorite colors. So, and then the next, student can explore the paper figure templates. They will later color and assemble. They observe different parts such as the hair, clothes, and shoes, noting which color they might want to use and thinking about descriptive words. Yes, by marking their favorite pieces, students plan their artwork and begin connecting vocabulary with a visual and sensory experiences. Yes, and then finally, I get students to connect color and adjective to sensory experience through discussion and example. For example, I might say, the blue shoes remind me of calm sky and feel cool in my imagination. So, yeah, the students are encouraged to choose color that reflect their own preferences of favorite use, making their figure unique and personal. Yes, this is the step one that I explained more about the step one. But yeah, in the step two, I have not finished yet write this step, but exactly here, this is my introduction, a little introduction that I have right here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Diana. You can stop sharing and we can continue to the next presenters, I think. So it should be Mas Daniel.
Okay.
All
Am
right.
I audible?
Yes. You can share your
Okay.
screen. Then I'll set the time.
All right. Uh, Let me share. Is it good to see, or it's enough?
Can you make it
Okay.
zoom out?
Zoom out, please.
Zoom out, please.
How about this?
Again, Mas.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Uh, okay. What I'm going to be showcasing here. So my title is Exploring ChatGPT's voice speech recognitions and real-time feedback features to enhance EFL speaking skills, systematically to review. Okay. In introductions, so GPT is one of the products of OpenAI that leverage language model processing. According to Lumeristics and Telecast 2023, it stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformers of Familiar Large Language Models, LMS, that can understand and generate text in a natural language way. Okay, from the beginning itself in here, by the way, in my title, why I'm going to explore the GPT's voice speech recognitions and real-time feedback. Because we are in this era, by the way, we are talking about GPT more, even in educational fields. So I think by understanding the speaking skill itself, we know that the speaking itself is built by the environment, right? So why not about the tools that will be building our skills? For example, the speaking skill itself. By using GPT as a tool, it will be easier for us to understand because it is built with the algorithm that will help us by understanding the real-time feedback from the GPTs that provides the voice mode. Okay, in here, GPT that I has read before that in the introductions, in the paragraph one, I'm going to showcase to the students that they are understanding about the layer of the GPT itself. I'm going here. I introduce about the basics of understanding of GPT itself, and I try to show about what is actually GPT itself, what is actually like a GPT is built for, and how the GPT itself build the systems to the voiced. So it is basically like in here, like the GPT pre-trained performance. It includes the LMS. It is large language model. How the large language model itself provides the natural language processing. So it provides how the algorithm works by giving the the prompt. So okay, so here LMS like GPT-3 and GPT-4 have made significant improvements in natural language processing, and models are basically trained on amount of data possibly generate human-like text, answer questions, and complete other related language talks by prior 2000, 2017. So according to Chen et al. 2023, machine learning is recognized as the main software of artificial intelligence, which deals with numerous issues such as speech recognition and natural language processing. So, by understanding the GPT itself, that provides the voice uh, mode feature that will help students to speak, especially speaking English. The GPT itself provides the machine learning. It is really common for us to hear about the machine learning itself and how it works, by the way. So machine learning is adaptive with our prompt itself, how it's going to be working from our prompt um, by utilizing the voice itself. It is, for example, of our prompt. How are we going to be interacting with the voice mode itself? How we give the prompt and then how we interact with the prompt itself. So the student will be understanding more about how they are going to be realizing with the prompt itself by giving the prompt using the voice. So that's why I have studied the NLP, the natural language processing itself. Natural language processing, it's kind of like the network. It's like uh, the neuron, but it is the like the neuron of the computer itself because it provides like the 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 robots and the conversational agents. Okay, in the paragraph one, systems that can learn and interact with human language are built within the strong framework that natural language processing deals with algorithm voice speech recognition by Josie and Theodor's 2005. That is fundamentally how machine learning comes with the algorithm, works at that and provides the variety of data informations that is extracted to realize output. So, as I said before, that the natural language processing is trying to be adaptive with the algorithm for speech itself. Why the voice mode is kind of like essential for students to speak because it can make students understand about the personalized learning. They are not only like conducting learning, speaking or conducting or building the speaking in the classroom, but also they can do like the flip learning. They can do practicing in the classroom, whether also they can do practicing in their home or wherever. That really supportive for their speaking practices. And here, according to LO et al. 2024, GPT has delivered attention in the area of English language education, which is English as a second language ESL and English as a foreign language. GPT is a promising tool for educational sectors such as educators and researchers. And in here, in English language education, readiness is necessary for students to dive into modern technology use. covering GPT's voice real-time feedback. However, learners still face numerous issues in English language learning, especially conducting speaking skills competency. Okay, as we see in here, by the way, real-time feedback is really essential. Why? We are the EFL students really, really hard to find that people can understand talking in English because they are still low, we don't know, vocabulary or speaking itself. So by understanding this voice feature of ChatGPT, it can give us the real-time feedback by even though it's provided by the algorithm, but it provides more uh, intelligence, more formal or something like that. It can give us the real answer by coming from these sources. And then here, increasing 2021st century technology has been rapidly modern assisting learners by utilizing oral abilities, according to Wang 2025, ChatGPT provides a voice assistant which stands for speech recognition under the algorithm systems. This feature helps learners shape their critical thinking to boost oral communication under the algorithm of a language model processing systems. According to Pansar 2004, the Nordwind 2017, and Achita 2022, AI research encompasses various subfields including the rhythm, proving knowledge presentation, formal logics, and the extensions to autonomous robots. Thus, diving into the LMS creates the development of a language teaching instruments. So, in here, this feature will understand about us by giving the prompt itself, and then it will elude the students' critical thinking, how they are going to be searching or something, how they're going to be uh, looking for something. They just like speak to the voice mode and then uh, get the real-time feedback. So that's why the LMS itself will understand about how our prompt itself, and the students should be readiness or should be ready, and then the teachers also will be understanding more about the systems itself. And the process of speaking includes the conceptualization, formulation, articulation, self-monitoring. Those are key features for navigating and building oral abilities that drive from either information, so language coding, encoding, physical productions, feedback, and corrections. The incorporations of ChatGPT and speaking skills are set to complete each other in a language teaching field, delivering voice of or speech to the voice feature of ChatGPT is a framework to enhance learner speaking ability because that is the process of monitoring their habits. Nevertheless, learners of the English language or AFL have challenges in recognizing the topic in speaking tasks because they lack speaking components as pronunciation, fluency, vocabulary, and comprehensibility. Furthermore, speaking skills need to be shaped to acquire the language input by being accustomed to speaking English with peers or teachers. But this practice is limited to the classroom. Therefore, by engaging EFL students with modern technology, they will be assisted in enhancing their speaking ability and technological skills, allowing them to innovate their learning style and speaking skills. The students can practice speaking skills in formal or informal setting. Furthermore, this study aims to explore ChatGPT voice speech algorithm in enhancing EFL student speaking skills or real-time feedback of Milton learning and allowing research questions was formulated. So the research questions is, in what ways does ChatGPT voice recognition and real-time feedback affect the speaking performance of EFL learners? I think that's all for me, what I have presented. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mas Daniel, for presenting your abstract. For
Thank you.
introduction draft, sorry. All right, next, we're gonna move to the four presenters. We have Uma.
Wait, I will share screen.
All right.
Can you see my screen, Mbak?
It's still loading. All right. Yeah. Can you zoom out the screen?
It is too big. Wait. Like this, or this is too big? Something like this?
Okay. Yeah, it's better.
Okay.
Okay, 10 minutes start.
Okay, all right, guys. Thank you very much for the opportunity. Here, I would like to explain you about my research that's under the title A Bibliometric Analysis of Mobile Assisted Language Learning, MAL, in Language Education. 2015 until 2024, evolution, trends, and future direction. So why I conduct this research is because we know that today's mobile technologies have rapidly transformed the educational landscape that's offering new opportunities for flexible and interactive learning. And in language education, that's mobile devices such as smartphones and tablets are viewed as essential tools that support the teaching and learning process in EFL and also ESL. While from this development that also has given rise to the MAL or Mobile Assisted Language Learning, which enables students to practice language skill anytime and anywhere through mobile application and online platform. And then because of this, because of this continuous exploration highlight the potential of MAL to support various aspects of language. Wait, uh, this condition. This continuous exploration highlight the potential of MAL to support various aspects of language acquisition, while also addressing limitation in traditional classroom-based interaction. And there are a lot of previous research that have already explored about this MAL, such as students and teacher perception of MAL, and then its pedagogical integration and its impact on learning performance and motivation. And other previous research that have already also provide valuable insight into the effectiveness and thematic direction of MAL. And here I have already provided the previous research to from the positive impact and also what are the challenges. And I also give some previous research which give the example of the applications such as Duolingo, Busu, and then Memrise are which is usually widely used for vocabulary and grammar enhancement, while for the social media platform and instant messaging application have been adapted to foster authentic communication. And then because of there have been already many research that told about MAL, therefore, that still need more research to explore the sustainability integration of MAL and its long-term pedagogical implication. And for this research, that I will conduct bibliometric analysis in order I can visualizing the pattern and trends which can serve a roadmap for future research and guide the effective implementation of mobile technology in language education. So this research will give contribution for provide valuable insight for educator, policymaker, and researcher to gain the clearer understanding of the development of MAL, including its structure, evolution, and emerging theme in MAL research. That's why this study is guided by the following research questions. That the first is, what are the trends in the distribution of publication related to MAL in language education? And then second, what are the most frequent keyword, trend topic, and thematic evolution in MAL-related research? And then the third is, which source into institutions, authors, and countries have been the most productive and influential in MAL research?
And then the fourth is, what are the most representative, impactful publication in this field? And the last is, what can be identified as the future research direction related to MAL in language education? So this is my introduction related to the urgency, novelty, and then also the gap and the purpose and the research questions of my research. Thank you very much.
Thank you for explaining. Okay, you can stop sharing.
Okay.
And we go to the last presenters. It will be Mas Hasan. Hello, Hasan.
Halo, halo.
All right.
Sorry.
Now you can share your screen then.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, can you zoom out?
All right.
Okay.
Okay,
So
thank
can
you.
we get started?
Okay, thank you for the opportunities. I will briefly explain about my main points of my introduction under the title Low Tech Debate, Adaptive Strategies for Equitable Digital Education in Rural Schools. All right, for the introductions here, I begins by addressing the global issues of digital divide and which has significantly changed the landscape of modern education. So here, schools around the world continue to strive to integrate digital technology and learning practices to improve the effectiveness and accessibility of education. So UNESCO also report that um, UNESCO also highlights that technology has great potential to expand access to education, increase participations, and prepare students for the challenge of the 21st centuries. However, the degree of to which technology is effectively implemented for educational purpose is a significant point of inquiry, particularly in educational institutions situated in remote regions or rural regions that face constrained in infrastructures and available resources. Within this particular setting, educators' comprehension of technology application emerge as pivotal element in achieving impactful and enduring digital education. Sorry. So the teachers in the rural areas has to have to understanding about the use of technology. So here's some literatures that I used to highlight the integration of the educational technology present both opportunities and complex challenges, both rural and also urban areas. However, the the study, the majority of the study continues to concentrate on urban areas or educational institutions processing substantial resource, consequently not accurately reflecting the circumstances of education within rural settings. So furthermore, research focused on technology implementation in rural. So this study uh, research focus on technology implementations in rural educational settings frequently points out that the disparities in availability and support when contrasted with urban schools. While this study um, motivate to uh, investigate the teachers understanding how they use technology in they integrate technology in their teaching. So here's the some I put some the previous studies that in the in not only in Indonesia but also in the world, such as in Africa, in South Africa, uh, Nigeria. That's those countries that how the teachers use technology in rural schools. But in this study, I take the context in Indonesia, especially in Wirinama, Seram district, represent a typical rural area with infrastructure disparity in eastern Indonesia. Located in largely rural area, school in this village face unique challenges, including limited access to technology, inadequate infrastructure, and socioeconomic disparities among students. Despite these challenges, there is a growing awareness of the potential of technology to enhance teaching and learning experience, improve educational outcomes, and bridge the digital divide in rural communities. Therefore, this studies aims to explore how teachers in rural Wirinama adapt technology integration within infrastructural constraint, identify the major barriers they face, and propose context-responsive strategies to foster equitable and sustainable digital learning. And in my introductions, in this study, I combine with the literature review. Here's some previous studies related to digital technology integration in educations, the challenge and opportunities. And also the next one, I previous studies about teachers' use of technology in rural schools. And the next, how the teachers, the previous studies, how the teachers in rural schools adapt strategy in technology integrations. And the theory. Okay, so it followed by the theoretical foundation of TPEC itself, and the last one is the summary of the TPEC frameworks. The TPEC framework that I used in this study to give I propose some no some propose a conceptual model serve as an analytical lens to explore how teachers in rural areas integrate technology under limited conditions and guiding framework to design equitable and sustainable strategy for technology-supported learning. Thus, I name it Eltti TPEC, Low-Tech TPEC, transform TPEC from a universal taxonomy into a context-root and transformative approach, empowering teachers to innovate within constraint and promoting digital equity in education. Maybe that's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Mas Hasan, for telling your introduction draft. So I'll give back to Ma'am Ella. Ma'am Ella?
Thank you. So I have looked at the folder, yeah. So here we have, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
okay. So we can see here.
Ma'am.
So the first one is Bu Niken, yeah, I think. But I have opened.
Yes, ma'am.
Wait a minute. I have closed that one, so I need to open that one. Okay, or maybe I'll come back to you. Oh, I can close this one. Right. So Ibu Niken, you talked about tic-tac, boomkin. So I think we all have to agree on the template or the format of best practice paper. And in this examples in this draft that you shared, I'm not sure whether these have been, how do we say, adjusted or written in ways that conform the guideline from the journal article. So I didn't know basically what journal are you targeting? I'm looking at the template following maybe an example given by Prof. Anita, but at the same time, whether this will suit the requirement of the journal, we don't know yet. So I think it's your job to look at the journal's template or conventions, and then adjust the writing to the template. Looking at, however, Ibu Nikans, I'm not sure whether the title suggests what you are saying in the body of the article, a practical framework. So I think it's not a framework. It's more a strategy or technique that you are inventing as a way of improving students, maybe reading or engagement in reading. So I think you could just go ahead and practical. You don't need to say practical. I think with the game, we know that this is a strategy. What is the
Yes.
point of doing tic-tac? What's the most significant after doing it in the class? What changes have you observed so far, for example? I know that I haven't read
Well,
the
actually,
full version. Yes, go on.
actually yes, about their engagement, ma'am,
Engagement.
about their engagement and also, engagement. And also, they will be like more motivated in doing the reading assignment, because actually if I ask them to do the tedious activities like reading and then after that answer the question, they might be very boring. And then so that's why if I do it this way, and if I did it this way using TikTok boom game, so they will be more enthusiastic in doing the reading assignment, ma'am.
Yes, I think we all agree about the benefits of using game in the class. I think my feedback will be related mostly to how the writing is organized so that we can improve the writing and then increase the likeliness of your paper to get accepted. Yeah, I think that's our goal of having the feedback giving. In terms of content, I believe in the results and the implications that you have presented in the paper. What I want to be clear about is how your writing is organized. So, for example, reading the abstracts here, you are saying about students, more engaged in the class in the field of reading assignment. I think the writing of the field of reading assignments, I think that is not it's not common in writing an article. I think you could just say students, increase students' engagement in reading activities. Yeah, that will be okay to say in your abstract.
Yeah.
I'm
Increase
trying
student
to
what,
give.
ma'am?
I think I should have.
Increase student engagement and, pardon me,
Yeah.
ma'am?
So in abstract, I'm making changes. I'm making changes in your
Yes.
abstract right now.
Yes, ma'am, please. Yes, ma'am.
Uh, yeah. Wait a minute. Because you have the abstracts, I would suggest you remove the first, few sentences of the abstracts.
Yes, ma'am, please.
What we could do is go directly with the, what is the importance of making reading instruction more effective or more interactive in your words.
Yes.
Hmm. So, for example, we can see strategies to make reading instructions more interactive and engaging. So, since since maybe you can argue since reading skills
Mhm.
maybe so I think instead of saying adaptation of the legendary, you start with you know how game how game improves reading engagement. So the second
Mhm.
line, the second sentence should start with gamification. Should Yeah, I think you need to introduce the word gamification. Yeah, in reading class or instructions is maybe is it very much discussed or is very much popular or not? Do you think game in reading? Do you think generally game in reading is uh common? Is you know well used or not compared to maybe speaking misalnya?
Actually, this is not really common, ma'am. Usually, the game is
That's
in
right.
vocabulary. Yeah,
Yeah, that's what.
because the game is in vocabulary because they only wanted to increase the vocabulary of the students, not reading, ma'am.
Yeah, so that's why you can say something like this.
Mm-hmm.
The adaptation of the you cannot say directly what the activity tic-tac-toe game does in abstract ya. Kalau abstract kan has to be general nggih. So we need
Yes,
to
ma'am.
focus on how gamification used in reading generally and how the adaptation of tic-tac-toe game will help not only engage students but also maybe yeah improve the other sub skills. But before going to that discussion, you need to say uh, how generally games in reading limited to maybe teaching vocabulary apalagi
Yeah,
uh
teaching
and
vocab.
your your focus is on reading comprehension. Yes.
Yes. Yeah, yeah,
Now,
ma'am.
so this
Reading.
is where you are introducing why it is important for the game. How do we say used? Yeah, will
Mm-hmm.
be maybe important. So I think I would suggest something like this.
Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Um. Maybe I don't necessarily have to. We don't need to say this in abstract, Ibu. So in abstract, you don't specify this yet, but you can say the this best practice ya. This paper gitu aja langsung ya. This article
Yes.
ya. You
Yes,
don't need
ma'am.
to say.
Mhm.
Hari Rebo Mbak Ria ya. Sorry. Yes. Right. So if you want to, for everybody who's doing best practice paper, kindly make sure in in sharing about the activity, I think you need to have a section how the activity is implemented. So you start, if you are looking at the template, not the template, but the sample, you start with the, theoretical framework of the practice. So whatever strategy you are saying, you are suggesting, you should have kind of theoretical or conceptual framework that might justify the choice of the strategy. So for example, here you talked about gamification. The gamification is the framework. So you think about what features of games that can help reading classes become more engaging and so on and so on. I just wonder, however, whether the activity in particular has been maybe used by other researcher, which you can then mention in your article, saying that this article also explores the application of the strategy, discussed by somebody else, but in a different context. And in doing so, you are providing comparison, how one activity can be better used in other contexts and maybe not so better used in other contexts. So if you can find a comparison like this might, how do we say, fill in the gap in the research landscape.
Yes,
But
ma'am.
what I didn't see here is those kind of how do we say, the particular games you were using in the article. So tic-tac-toe game, does it fall into particular category of game? Maybe you want to also mention here ya.
Mhm.
Jadi jangan
Yes, ma'am.
langsung tahu game as a way. Nah, kan pasti harus ada diskusi what game is it and how is it
Hmm.
grouped among the other games. So what do you call this game is? Interactive game? What game is it? Board game?
Board game, ma'am. A board
So you
interactive games.
So you should mention this one first. That's the idea, yeah. So
Uh,
you people
mhm.
understand what it is.
Yes, ma'am.
And I think the way you explain like the implementation, this is too maybe how do we say it, too long, too far away down the article. So that's why the template should be clear, yeah. You have very few paragraphs only for intro and then combined with the literature review, and then you start with the discussion on the game or the implementation of the strategy you propose.
Oh,
And
yeah.
finally, you talked
Mhm.
about what reflection you can share after following the activity or doing the activity or observing the activity. So some people may be the one who chose to implement the strategy. Some are observing other colleagues doing it, ya, like our discussion last week. Kan tidak semua punya kelas ya, jadi yang melakukan
Mhm.
temannya, lalu you are reporting ya the best practice. So in that way, there has to be clear, yeah, the role should be clear. Who are you in this article? Yeah, I think I haven't got the
Yes, ma'am.
organization very clearly. The outline maybe have been have you written down the outline? Yeah, I just wondered, have we gone through outlining processes for this? Belum ya? Nah, ini misalnya seperti ini nih. The habitation proposed
Uh,
by researcher. Ini kan diulangi
belum,
lagi.
not yet, ma'am.
Yeah, to me this is repetitive. There are some parts of the article which is repetitive. And then I read somewhere here, Ibu, you talked about critical thinking suddenly. So I
Yes, ma'am.
wonder whether you have mentioned critical thinking on in the
Yeah.
literature review sections. I couldn't find it because in abstract you didn't even say about critical thinking. Would you say about critical thinking ya? Nah ini dia. many reasons why games are great. Gamification
Yes,
enhance
ma'am.
critical thinking and problem solving. Nah, ini kan berarti maunya theory kan ya? Ya kan maunya ini theory ya about game in general kan ya?
Yes.
Nah, ya
Yeah.
kan? Ini kan di
Yes, ma'am.
intro, ini kan
Yeah.
bagian dari. So sometimes draw plus literature review can be combined. Nah, but be very careful when you mention critical thinking, but yours you didn't say about critical thinking. Mungkin pilih yang mengatakan bukan critical thinking ya, tapi lebih engagement atau yang lain. Sesuai dengan yang dirasakan oleh Bu ini kan, biar
Oh,
nyambung
bos.
gitu ya.
Oh, siap,
Oke,
ma'am. Yeah, ma'am.
that's my feedback for now. I think I'm finding myself a bit confused reading your paper, Ibu Niken, not because it's not clear, but maybe the organization, just because some aspects are being repeated down, ya. Tadi Bu Ella sudah tulis ya di komentar yang nggih. Nanti
Yes.
boleh dilihat.
Yes,
Thank
ma'am.
you.
Yeah, ma'am. Yeah.
Who's next?
Berarti, ma'am,
Thank you.
should I
Next
revise
ya
the
tadi ya.
title, ma'am?
Mhm.
Ma'am? Excuse me,
I
ma'am. Should
would
I
say
revise the
yes.
title?
Yes, I would say
Uh-huh.
yes.
So maybe, yeah, maybe do you have any suggestion, ma'am, about the title?
Did I write there? No, I have not ya. Tadi Bu Ella tuh
Yeah, not
kalau
yet,
di situ
ma'am.
tuh saya tidak bisa mengedit ya. Saya buat dalam Google Docs tadi soalnya. Oh, berarti saya Google Docs-nya di ini ya,
Oh,
di apa namanya,
di
disimpan ya. Enggak kok muncul
di
kok itu Ibu. Coba.
di
I can
drive, ma'am.
see
Oh,
the cross
oh,
remove
yes, yes.
lines.
Oh, iya, siap, ma'am.
Um,
Berarti langsung berarti not practical itu tapi diganti strategi apa tadi ya, ma'am? Yang ma'am
just yeah,
sarankan?
simply say games yeah, or gamification in reading class for what do you call it?
Oh,
Engagement? Yeah, for improving engagement. That's all. You don't need to say this
oh,
the activity, the exact game yet in the title. You don't have to.
oh, oh, berarti nggak usah pakai TikTok boom game, nggak usah gitu ya, ma'am?
Yeah, you don't have to.
Perlu, I
Gitu.
don't have to mention TikTok boom game-nya, tidak usah.
I don't think
Yeah.
you have. If you want, you can, but um, what do we say? Kalau teknik memberi judul itu kan tidak harus menyebut strateginya ya, tapi lebih juga pada impact-nya. What impact do you get after doing
Uh,
that?
yes.
And that's what you write
Yeah.
in the title. That's my suggestion.
Hmm. Oh
Okay.
yeah. Okay, ma'am.
Okay, who's
Yes,
this
thank you,
next?
ma'am.
Ya, Bu Ella lupa ya.
Diana, ma'am.
Diana.
Yes, ma'am.
Mbak Dian. Jadi karena ini saya buat Google Docs ya. I don't know why I couldn't open it again. Let me find it.
In the Google Drive, ma'am.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, descriptive is not a noun phrase, yeah. It's not a noun, ya kan? Descriptive is not a noun, that's one. And now you are saying you're grounded and communicative and multisensory. Okay. All right, but Diana, did you follow a particular template for this?
Yes, ma'am. I follow the mentor text that Prof. Anita sent in the group.
So,
And then
jurnalnya di mana itu?
jurnalnya di The Reading Teacher, Scopus, ma'am,
Okay.
Lily.
All right, so nanti for everyone, next meeting, you put the name of the journal and you follow the template already, ya, following the journal. So I don't need to ask. That goes into which journal. Nah, artinya you have adjusted the template ya to follow journals convention. All right, so that's the heading skill building. I'm not sure how this connect with the paragraphs or the sections. Mbak Diana. Kan ini skill building itu tujuannya kan subheading ya. Subheading ini kan menjelaskan isi di dalamnya.
Yes, ma'am.
So I don't understand. Yeah. What skill building you have here? I don't know. You are describing here the activities. All right. Or do you want to say descriptive skills development? Maybe you want to say something like that. Yeah. Writing skills for descriptive text.
Yes,
Something like that.
Yes,
That's
ma'am.
clearer. I don't understand what skill building is. I don't see the connection, I'm afraid. Lalu we have here the way you are presenting the activities. The template tells you to go with the narrative like this. Yeah, you don't have points or like the steps here. Yeah, you have the step. So these steps, are they in sequential order? In sequential order? In table 1?
In table 1?
Yeah,
Yes,
are they
this is the
sequential?
summary.
Are they sequential? Can you hear me clearly? Yes. Are they sequential?
Yes, ma'am. This is a sequential step.
So if they are sequential, maybe you want to number them because
Okay,
it
ma'am.
shows series of activities. Yeah, because we don't know which comes first. So if you want to make sure these are following one by one, it has to go with numbers. So you have, all right.
Okay, ma'am. I will add the number.
And when you are writing this, you're not writing it in recount or past tense, in recount format. It's a present tense. Is that what you are seeing from the template?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Oh, yes, itu yes or
Wait. I will look for the mentor text, ma'am. Oh,
oh,
yeah.
I thought you followed.
This is not,
I thought you following.
yeah.
You said you following. Because if this happens already, I think that has to go into, like recounting. But if it tells about activity in general, not necessarily what you have done, so just a general tips, like everybody can do it. It's not what you have done before, then that's okay to go with present tense. But if you talk about what had happened, what you have done, and then you report how this resulted, in the way students maybe development or engagement or whatever, then you may want to change the tenses. What do you think?
All right, ma'am. So, I have followed the mentor text, and then in the mentor text that I see again here that the mentor text use a simple present, ma'am.
Okay, so this is general tips, right? This is a general tips, right? That everybody can do, not necessarily your experience, gitu kan? This is suggestions, right? Yeah, okay. All right, so in that way, it is okay. Yeah, I think you have not finished, so you could just go ahead with finishing that one. Yeah, but
Yes, ma'am. Still not finished yet.
Right, so we have Danielle, I guess.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Um, so what do you want this for? You want this as systematic literature. So in systematic literature, the way abstract in systematic literature does is you need to report how you did the inclusion.
Yeah.
How did
Yes, ma'am.
you select? Yeah, how did you select and
I
exclude?
use Prisma method, ma'am.
Yes,
Uh,
but with only 10 between 3 years, you didn't say where you had collected the papers. Yeah, what databases you used. I think having only 10 between 2022 to 25, you need to perhaps say more about inclusion. Yeah, there are more criteria than, ya, karena hanya
okay.
10 yang
All right.
dihasilkan. And then you
All
didn't
right.
say where you took this criteria article from, what databases, Elsevier,
Oh,
Scopus.
okay. I see. It's coming
Yes.
from Scopus, ma'am.
Yeah, I mean, you
Probably,
don't need to
yeah.
explain to me. I'm asking simply because as a reader, we want to know, in
Okay.
cinematic-based paper, we want to know how you
Yeah.
selected and from which databases. And when you
Yeah.
have selected, you should say also out of the, for example, 5 or 55 articles we selected, or we did a filter, or we applied the
Mhm.
exclusion criteria and then generated like only 10. And the 10
Okay.
articles fall into the categories of this and this and this. So I think that's what I didn't find here.
Mm-hmm. All right. So it's going to be like based on the search strings, as you said before, like the databases. It's going to be
I
like
think so.
yeah, coming from a Google Scholar, Routledge,
Yeah, and
and
how come it you could get only 10? So you need to say in first filter, in first,
oh,
you
okay.
know,
Yeah.
searching, you get maybe 100 of articles, and then you selected, you
Yeah.
applied the exclusion and inclusion criteria and gave
Mhm.
you how many articles. And at the end, you have only 10. So 10 is a result of processing tadi ya,
Yeah.
from applying
Yeah.
the inclusion and exclusion criteria.
Yeah. I do look forward for coming from the search strings, maybe 124 articles will be selected, and then I'm going to be using automatic analysis to
Yeah, that's
include.
okay.
Yeah, yeah. All right.
That's okay.
Yeah.
All right. The problem only is when you are talking about exclusion criteria, you needed to also say whether you did it yourself, yeah, or somebody else helped you, or you used a searching machine or a particular app that helps you. Maybe find the keywords when you are
Yeah,
applying the
you're right.
criteria. Maybe you use AI based, and then you then can get only 10. Now you need to verify those two in the process of reporting. You have only one research question. Do you plan to have more?
Um, I still have one, ma'am.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Mm.
So your title suggests you want to see the role of ChatGPT's voice speech recognition and real-time feedback in enhancing
Mhm.
EFL speaking, right?
Yes, ma'am. Real time.
You remove this one to enhance speaking skills.
Okay.
Okay. Those are very specifics. Yeah. So in
Yeah.
your literature review, I think you need to include systematic literature papers that have investigated,
Yeah.
ChatGPT for speaking. And then your gap might be about that those systematic literature reviews do not look specifically into voice speech recognition and real-time feedback.
Mm.
Maybe some look into voice speech only and some others look
Yeah.
at real time, but very few looked at the combination of both features. And that's why you wanted to do it. That's the gap.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I see. Mhm.
Otherwise, people would ask, so what? People have done this. Other articles, maybe even reported hundreds of papers while you only reviewed 10. So what makes it very specific in your context? So you could just, try to explore the gap. So in your selection, those 10 papers, maybe discuss particularly what are they the context. If the contexts are being very important to select, then you need to argue in the literature review while looking at the systematic paper on the particular context, maybe EFL and in higher education or EFL and among certain groups of learners are harder to find in other literature review paper, and that's why you are doing it. Do you see that? You need to
Yes.
set or establish the gap.
All
Thank you.
right. Wow. Nice.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Who's this next year? Mbak Umah, bukan? Who's next?
Yes,
Mbak Umah?
ma'am. Yes,
Iya betul.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Mhm. This is very much. This is very long. 15 to 24. Are you sure?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you started
Actually,
collecting?
I have already collected the data from the Scopus that, ma'am. For the first time that I found around 1073, and then after that, I tried to exclude which is not in using English, and then only 1063, and then after that, I just focus on to the an article. So that's there is around 494, and then the last I try to read the abstract, which is only which focus on English teaching. That's only 312, ma'am. And for to analyze that article, I will use Voice Viewer and R application, ma'am.
Okay. Well, this is a lot study, I can say. If you look at over 10 years here, even more, then that's huge. But I'm glad you have searched, for the articles already because it can take time. And I am glad you also use an app to help you do the analysis. I am looking at the introduction only, yes. What we perhaps want to highlight more, just like I mentioned to Danielle before. So the study review studies on mall. Yeah, I think that it's quite extensive. Yeah, it's quite extensive. It's a large body of research, I guess. At the same time, you looked at evolution. So I think the right word to use evolution because you are looking at periods, yeah,
Yes.
pre and post COVID. So you perhaps could, how do we say or find the differences, yeah, where maybe there is urging demand of more recently or post-COVID. So, but at this point, don't you think the inclusion or the exclusion or the criteria should also maybe highlight or been, how do you say, been divided into two, yeah, before and after COVID, because otherwise you won't be able to see the evolutions. Or you could,
Oh,
what do you think? Because
yeah.
here I only see mall generally, yeah, mall in general point of view, and you don't necessarily touch the discussion on pre and post COVID
Oh, okay, ma'am.
while
Okay.
you are aware, right? Kalau before 2019 kan pasti kita kan punya, saya kita sudah punya era COVID ya, and that would make a lot of changes nanti in your search pastinya.
Yes.
When you have collected, because you said you have collected, and have you found something that, suggested the data, inclined to talking about COVID related, use of mall pre and post 2019, Mbak Uma?
Yes, ma'am. From the data, with I will look at again, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. From 2019, that the research about mall have already improved, ma'am.
Yeah, I believe in your literature review, you must include other bibliometric analysis studies that summarize the evolution of mall before COVID and after COVID. And I believe there must be many
Oh,
of
okay.
them.
Okay, ma'am.
Jadi ambil satu yang sebelum COVID, ambil satu yang sesudah COVID. What does it say? Jadi cek dulu bibliometric analysis yang udah ada, yang dilakukan sebelum COVID, sama yang sudah COVID. Nah, generally what they find. So
Hmm.
you can see ya, karena kan you are combining both. Jadi there should be some
Oh, okay.
reflection around that. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to capture the evolution. Karena kata-kata Duolingo, Busu, Memrise itu kan baru emerging post-COVID, Mbak.
Iya, iya, ma'am.
Iya kan, maksudnya yang mendalami mall pasti sedikit banyak very well aware of this and would find the studies on literature review atau systematic literature review itu mengangkat pasti. Karena waktu gue disertasi kan pas COVID tuh. Jadi kelihatan sekali bahwa body of research yang tentang COVID itu membludak. Apalagi kalau tentang Mongol saat itu. Nah, barangkali kalau membaca dahulu yang sudah diterbitkan, tapi sifatnya systematic literature review atau bibliometric itu yang pra dan sebelum COVID itu dimasukkan dalam your literature review. Karena itu akan kemudian maybe your gap will be to see the evolution pre and after. Karena include both ya, and especially because you maybe focus on, what do you focus on? What do you focus on? You don't focus on particular aspects, you focus on many ya, mall
Yes.
and
Yes,
language
ma'am.
education, padahal banyak. Nah, jadi be very careful dengan selecting tadi ya contohnya ya. Kalau di sini, hmm, okay. Um, I think this is okay. I just maybe I'm not sure. Ya tadi, you have many, and you are looking at the distribution and publication, and then you are looking at impactful future directions. Yeah, okay. So yeah, basically you want to look at everything, then you want to provide tadi ya, how do we say? Yeah, you want to find, how do we say? What do you want to find? What do you want to find? Yeah, you want to identify many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me ask you, Mbak. Misalnya ya, nomor 3. Which sources, institutions, authors, and countries have been the most productive and influential? So what is the point of knowing those? What do you want to suggest? What will be the implication later?
Because later that will also impact to the this one, ma'am, the impactful citation, ma'am. So the research from the country and then from the institutions, the authors, that will also provide the information about which one that most city cite article or give impactful in the research, ma'am.
So 3 and 4, are they similar?
Yes, that's correlate each other, ma'am.
But you are not looking at the ini ya, the findings ya. You're not looking at the findings ya.
Yes,
Because you are looking at the distribution, you are looking at the keywords, the topics, the thematic evolutions. You're not looking at the content of the articles.
yes, ma'am.
Will you look at
Actually,
the content?
no, ma'am,
What are
because
you
I
going to
just
look at?
uh I do
Mhm.
not directly read all of those
Yes.
articles because I use
Mhm.
the software, so I don't need to read that article, ma'am. But
Um,
actually, if I also if I need to read the content, maybe I will I need to.
no, you don't. Actually, number 1 to 5 also don't require you to read the content. Kalau kita baca questions ya, semuanya tidak mengharuskan memahami kontennya. Karena misalnya keywords kan dari abstrak langsung kelihatan, ya nggak? Sources, institution, authors, countries kan bukan dari kontennya, ya nggak? Ya kan dari outlet jurnalnya kan?
Yes, ma'am.
Impactful publication diukur dari citasi indeksnya. Juga tidak dari kontennya kan?
Yes, ma'am.
Nah, which might derive, which might be derived from kontennya tuh ininya doang, future directions. Ya kan? So
Iya, ma'am.
artinya you are indeed relying on the titles. Ya, atau on the keywords tadi kan ya?
Yes,
Ya.
with
I don't know. I'm not very sure with the type of bibliometric paper, but I think it's fine. You can go with this. I think there are paper like what you are planning to write that focuses on the general characteristics of the paper, and that's okay. I just study, I suggest when you are looking into the sampel, the previous studies look at the pre and post COVID ya, karena sepertinya akan mempengaruhi nanti.
okay,
Ya,
ma'am.
sekarang begitu Mbak Uma, thank you. Sekarang Mas Hasan, bukan? Mas Hasan, what is this paper about?
It's about research-based paper.
It's research based. It's research based.
Yes.
So the intro is combined with the literature review, yeah?
Yes, ma'am.
This is introduction only, ya, Mas. Berarti how many thousands you have to write for the journal?
Yes, ma'am.
This is only for introduction, yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Nah, berarti how many thousands you have to write for the journal? I look at this one and it's, to me, it looks very long. It looks very long ini ya, to me ya.
Yes, ma'am.
It looks very long. Coba ya kita bisa lihat how many words you have here. Like, let me see dari mana word count. Nah, ini word count. Tahu nggak berapa?
I don't know actually.
2.206. 5 halaman.
Yes, ma'am.
Oke,
Actually,
2.206 dari berapa?
I still confused to
7,000.
combine the
Yeah, are you planning to write a research paper atau apa, Mas Hasan? What do you plan?
research paper.
Okay, if you are writing a research paper, then I need to see mana ininya. I didn't see you building your thesis statement ya in the end of the second chapter on the literature review. I don't see what's the issues here. So you talked about low tech TPAC. So
Yes.
what does it mean? What is the issue? The issue is digital divide. Okay, so I understand, but then you need to contextualize it. So digital divide where in your context of research in where? Where in Islam?
Yes.
Okay, so I think when you talked about digital divide, you want to specify, yeah. I think so where are studies that report on digital divide in our context?
This is Akram.
Yeah, but
and
that's not in
UNESCO.
our context. Is it in your context in Islam or in our country? Or in maybe low economy countries? So what do you suggest? Yeah, Asian countries, yeah, if you like to say.
Actually, the global and also Indonesian context.
Yeah, but you cannot how do we say itu namanya overgeneralization ya. You find a article that may tell or represent the context closer to yours. So kalau di sini ada Afrika, South Africa, in our context maybe Asian context. So what has been found in research around digital divide in Asian. So if you talked about Africa and our context, which slightly different, I think
for
you
Indonesian
want to have more. Luwo, itu dari mana Luwo? Bukan dari Indonesia kan?
Yes, ma'am.
Nah, berarti ini kan mau eksplorasi kan, kualitatif ya. You want to ask them, the teachers, how they cope with the major barriers they face, ya kan? Context responsive strategies gitu kan. You want to know what they do gitu kan, to overcome the limit of digital technology in their place. So I think you need to have some, here the previous studies must present examples of research, yes, that, yeah, tadi, that focus, yeah, on teachers' adaptive strategies, yeah, in maybe Asian context. Or maybe not necessarily in Asian context, but you need to mention how they did it. I didn't find it here. So, for example, you have Luwo. Luwo itu...
Ma'am, sorry. Actually, it's di bawahnya, ma'am.
Di bawahnya. Yang 36 studies ini?
Exploring adaptive strategies to technology integration.
Okay, Soka and Kia ini? utilizing simple technologies and WhatsApp and Google Classroom ini. Kusuma ini ya?
Yes, ma'am.
Ini ya? Okay. I'm not sure with Luwo ini. Luwo dari mana ini?
Wait, I'm looking for the...
Luwo 2022. So, Luo, I'm not sure where Luo is from. Tapi my questions lagi, why TPAC dan seterusnya itu dibahas setelah previous study ya, Mas? Kalau itu menjadi frameworknya, when you are explaining the data or analyzing the data, I think that should come early. So, you have too many paragraphs, to be honest. One, too long introduction. Two. So, if I were you, what I would do, I would skip. Ya, ada beberapa contoh-contoh tadi disimpan untuk discussion saja when you want to compare. So you choose what is relevant, and if you want to give one example in other countries and then one in Indonesia, that would be great. But I think discussing the frameworknya has to come early. Jadi misalnya Mas bilang TPAC kan, nah jadi discussion wise adaptive strategies is needed given the digital divide and the requirement to use technology in classroom. Teachers are required to develop a set of skills. These skills are guided by TPAC, include bla 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 gitu, Mas. Jadi TPAC-nya jangan dibahas seperti kita bahas di disertasi atau tesis, karena kan ini artikel saja. So do you want to have yang ada di sini, ini bukan dihapus ya, disimpan saja. Nah, jadi you include this punyanya Misa and Kohler ini di awal when you say teachers generally cope with the lack of technology tools by adopting tadi ya framework namanya TPAC itu tadi. Jadi membahasnya nanti bagaimana sebetulnya praktek-praktek yang dilakukan oleh guru yang disebutkan oleh Kusuma tadi itu sebetulnya merefleksikan praktek TPAC begitu kan. Nah, Mas Hasan mau menanyakan kalau di guru di daerah mana tadi namanya? Beri nama itu, apakah dia juga seperti itu gitu? Apakah sama seperti yang dilakukan si guru yang ada di artikelnya buku Suma? Misalnya seperti itu. Nah, when you are interviewing the teachers later or observing their practice, you want to discuss the things following frameworknya TPAC tadi. Oh, yang dia lakukan sebetulnya dia menerapkan technological knowledge. Yang dilakukan sebetulnya dia menerapkan teknologi content knowledge. Nah, seperti itu. Jadi itu menjadi dasar menema-nemakan nanti di belakang.
Oke, ma'am.
Tapi jangan ke belakang, ini terlambat ya menjelaskannya dan panjang and lebar ini. Too many, too long. Disimpan, nanti ketika diskusikan, sudah sampai di findings, boleh itu dimunculkan lagi. Gitu ya.
Oke.
Terima kasih. Ada lagi ya? Siapa lagi ya? Yang Bu Ella belum lihat. Sudah semua belum? Mbak Ilma, udah semua?
Sudah, Mem.
Sudah, Mem.
Saya sebetulnya sehari 2 hari ini kurang enak badan ini, maaf ya.
Ya, Mem.
Saya berikan tokennya tapi sudah hilang ya sesinya ya. Iya enggak?
Iya, Mem.
Ya, Mem.
Coba main. Oh iya, udah hilang ya sessionnya. Pas jam 10. We're doing manual aja ya for everyone ya. Thank you so much ya everybody ya.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mem.
Have a good
Thank you,
day.
Bu Ella.
Thank you, ma'am.
See you later.
Recovery, Bu Ella.
Thank you,
Thank you,
ma'am.
Mem.
Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi